Hello, everybody. I'll be right with you, getting everything, of course, set up. Hopefully, everybody's doing okay out there.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
What is going on? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How you doing? What is going on? So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I was doing some research, of course. I don't know what I just did to my screen, but there we go. Um, I was doing some research, looking up things, doing things, seeing what I can talk about with you guys for What If Wednesdays. And I came across this book that had been going around about um it's called Introduction to the Alien Races book. Now, I did a little studying on it and it was a little crazy at first. But apparently back in the day they found alien book, or like somebody was keeping track of what aliens were in our had come and visited us or whatnot. And I thought it was what caught my attention really, and you will see. I will share it with you guys. Why am I so red? It looks like I'm freaking burning up. Um, it's crazy. But anyway, what you will see coming across this is some, I don't know, it's very weird. Some of them look very familiar to me. Now mind you, in this book he does state that um ones that they don't have pictures for, they have taken from movie boxes and stuff like that, just to get an understanding of what they might look like from the description and everything. Hey Patrick, how you doing, hon? So yeah, so coming across this book, it was very weird. I was reading into it, and some of the pictures just looked very familiar, not from movie sets or anything like that, just in general of I guess you'll see when we get into it. It's very hard to explain. So yeah, starting off with this book, Introduction to the Alien Races book. Now, this is the explanation real quick, what he says. In 2004, I became friends with a Ukrainian guy called Petro that I met completely randomly at a bar by the beach. I was on holidays and he was there with some friends having some drinks. Anyway, we started talking with each other. Our friendship started like that. He became a regular at my house where our families would get together. In 2008, he called me and asked if I wanted to go on a road trip, and I said sure. He had in mind to go to the south of Spain and visit his brother. His brother was there in jail at the time near Hova. And if I get any of these names wrong, I'm so sorry. um, and also visit his father in Portugal. His father was a former diplomat of the Ukraine years before, and when he retired, he decided to move back there and live there. And so we went. We visited his brother and went to Portugal to visit his father. When we were at his house, he asked us a favor. He is old. If we could empty boxes from one room to the other, he wanted to make a bedroom for guests. We said okay and went to the room expecting to see some old newspapers. Instead, we found 58 boxes full of old documents and books from time to time when he was a diplomat. Some documents were in Russian, some were from the USSR times. Petra started reading and translating some of them, and we realized that there was a lot of interesting, intriguing, and even top secret, at least one time, documents. So we asked his father if we could keep the boxes for ourselves. He agreed, and we had to run a van to take everything back home to us. Week after week, our houses mainly on the weekends, week after week in our houses, mainly on the weekends, we went through all the documents, translating them, cataloging them by subject matter or dates and places. As due to work, we were apart quite often. We also did a lot of work online. Hey, Zach, how you doing? I know, it's crazy, right? I had a hell of a day yesterday, and like it was my Monday, and it was just a nuts. It was nuts, but good to see you here. I'm sorry. I know I did. I fell asleep on the couch, and Eddie didn't know I was going to plan on going live, so he kind of just pushed me over and covered me up. So yeah, yesterday was definitely my Monday. Hopefully, when I go into work today, it'll be a hell of a lot different. It was one of those crazy days where everybody was calling asking questions that I didn't know. the answers to. And it was just very crazy. So to go on with the book, that's when we found the book that led to the video I published. The one book, and I haven't seen this video, and I'm definitely going to check it out. But this is one book that we had is undated and looked modern, but we did find the cover, only the cover for the same book, but dating back to 1951. We called his father later that year and asked him about the book, and he filled in the missing information. He said that amongst high-ranking political officials, there have always been the rumor of alien contact, but nothing concrete. He said that he had received the book years before from one of his lifelong diplomat friends and been updating the book until recently with information that friends of him sent him or when they would get together to talk about old times. The information and regular updates was sent to him by mail, phone, or online. He still gets regular updates that transmit to me. So there's like 100 pages. There's like notes on the side of it. He talks about. So let's go ahead. Shall we get into what this book is all about? Let me go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now, this is a PDF version of it. And now, mind you, like I said before, some of these photographs are taken from movie, scenes and stuff like that because they don't have photos of them. But I thought it was very interesting, like I said before, that some of them just look very familiar. Let me go ahead and I'm going to try to get this so you guys can see it a little bit better. Oh, maybe that's too much. There. Okay. There we go. So yeah, and he says, and so you have it, the story behind the alien races, Russian secret book. Now it says the alien race book has been re-edited, information always being updated in all aspects from the new alien races to reports and photos or illustrations, at least 12 times. Hey, Abandoned Boys, how are you? Thank you for stopping in. What is going on? So we know that the first edition was printed in 1946 or early 47. The new editions were printed in 1951. He's like, I have the cover, just the cover of that one. 1959, 68, 71, 80, all the way up to, we believe, 2011. Now, I haven't found anything more recent, but let's check out some alien races, shall we? So this talks about the whole, the lost copy. In the 80s, a copy edition of this book was found on a field in Beiruta, East Siberia. Like I said, I'm going to mess up these names, guys. You know how I am. And the copy ended in the hands of a KGB agent with friends in the media. After the collapse of the USSR, some of the information and images in the book were leaked or sold. Years later, the information and some of the images started appearing in TV series and video games, Mass Effect being the most well-known. This book was totally handwritten, and in 1924, near Yakutsk in the Ukraine. Now, I'm not even going to try that word. The three daughters of a certain captain simply vanished. Captain Andreychuk was of Russian descent. Very little is known about him except that he traveled a lot. A farmer that lived near Captain Andreychuk's house said that he saw the captain's daughters walking towards the woods maybe 2 hours before sunrise. Intrigued, he followed them at a distance. After walking about 30 minutes, he described seeing purple and red lights and a mist through the trees. He got closer and saw the three girls enter what he called a floating, bright, windmill-like plane. He also reported seeing 5 creatures as small as children with much older face. According to him, the windmill that flew very slow into the stars until he couldn't tell them apart. So they went back and they found the mother and father dead in the house. And on the kitchen table, along with their 3 dogs, 1 horse, and 2 goats. They were all dead. On the kitchen table, there was a letter or note not signed with a handwriting that matched Sophia, one of the daughters. It said, "We're going to school in the moon with our friends." Pretty messed up, if you ask me. So let's go ahead and here we go. This is starting out and what I like about this is you'll see it'll have the alien race. It'll have a picture and it'll tell when the last time that they were found on Earth or what they're about. So in the book, this book of alien races is both an instruction manual and source of information be used now and in the future until the day we will need it no more. Learn from it and add to it. You are forbidding of showing this book to anyone, talking about the book to anyone, talking about or revealing your investigative activities to anyone, drinking alcohol on and off duty, consuming drugs on and off duty, helping alien races no matter the situation or request, choosing sides when physically amongst different alien races, or during investigations and the engaging of sexual activities with any member of alien races. Hey, System Failure, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Have been lurking in your streams lately. Great job. Great job. Usually when you're live, I'm at work, so I can't really talk that much. So here we go. These are some of the alien races. The first one is the Algruk, aka the Builders. They come from the constellation Sculptor. They derive from an ancient race of reptilians that have gone into extinction. They are special at building ships and other devices needed for deep space traveling. They are also space travelers themselves searching for new raw material. They can live up to 230 years. Nice to meet you as well, System Failure. And they were last seen in Tokyo, Japan in 2005. Like I said, now, I don't know if there's an updated version of this. I really don't know. But this is where it gets interesting, okay? Because this here, the Kgb Toker, right here, does that not look like a black-eyed children? Does that not look like black-eyed children? What they're, I mean, right? That first caught my eye when I was going through this. That looks like a black-eyed child to me. And is that what we're seeing? That's why they're creepy when black-eyed children are come face to face with somebody. Why everybody's so cold? It seems so cold and get eerie feeling. These guys are from the constellation Vela near the star Sahal al-Mahilif. You guys know how I am with names. They grow up to 2 meters high, 6 inches, and live up to 200 years, or 6 foot, I'm sorry, live up to 200 years. They can shapeshift and very hard to detect. When they shapeshift, the only things that they cannot change is the size and color of their eyes. So even if, hey, Abraxas, how you doing? So even if System Failure, that means he just subbed to your channel. You can't put sub in the chat because it looks like spam. So he subbed to your channel. But so they cannot change the size and colors of their eyes. So even if they shapeshifted into something else, those black eyes are staying there. Isn't that wild? So they're one of the oldest known races. They do abduct humans. Again, with that cold, eerie feeling when people see black-eyed children, and last seen on Earth July of 2008. But yeah, that's the first picture that caught my eye because I was like, that's a black-eyed child. So maybe these black-eyed children are aliens. I mean, it's been thought of in the past, but crazy, crazy. The next race is the Pleiadians, and a lot of you might have heard of the Pleiadians. I know I have. They're the most ones that I hear about besides the Greys. They come from the solar system surrounding the Pleiades stars, which more precisely from the planet Era near the star Tegeta. They are associated with a spiritual growth. They can grow up to 2.5 meters, 8 feet. They practice sex cultivation, the distinct difference between their sexual expressions of and their sensual emotions. Their ships are known as beam ships. Although regularly visited Earth, they have remained mostly silent since 10,000 BC. They are one of the oldest known races. They continue to develop the necessary mental skills to eventually reach their goal of an even higher spiritual self. What do you know about swarms, UFO? What do you mean, like the clusters? Hey, Shadow Demon, how are you? How you doing? Is that what you mean, system failure? Oh, what do I know about how they? Okay, this book happened to I was researching some stuff and came across this book and I thought it was pretty neat. I thought that what they have written down is what they've collected over the years of information. We don't know. We don't know. The Pleiadians, I know the Pleiadians are the usually the tall, long-haired blondes. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So the next, I mean, I know these are hard to see with it. Maybe if I do this, you guys can see it better. Not much better, but yeah, it's online. If you look for Kgb Alien Book, search up Kgb Alien Book, you should find it. Should. But so the Kgb Alien, they come from the constellation Volans. The sightings of this race on Earth are rare, and they are considered a mystery race. As it is said that they were forbidden to visit Earth around the year 1000 BC, but they did not stop visiting Earth completely. This because of their abilities, the race Matra. I don't know what that means. But anyway, they were last seen on Earth December of 1989. Did you knock? Could be a bird outside my window. You're very welcome, system failure. So the next alien race we have is the Kurs, aka gods of the lands, believed to be related to the race Anunnaki. Now, the Anunnaki race, I don't know about you, for some reason, the Anunnaki race scare the hell out of me. They're supposed to be the ones. Have you, Patrick? Yeah, and that's what they say. That they say that the Greys are usually with the Pleiadians. That I don't know if that's like they're part of them or if they work together or whatnot. So yeah, I've heard that a lot. That they are seen a lot together, or at least they've seen like Pleiadian ships, and they'll be seeing like 3 or 4 of the Pleiadians, but they'll also see the Greys standing there with them. But the Anunnaki, they scare the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie, they really do. So these creatures, the Kors, believed to be related to the race Anunnaki. They come from the planet Dilmunds. They are the race behind the story of Enlil and Ninilil. I don't know what those stories are. I'm going to have to check it out. They are directly involved in the development of the human race during the early stages. Have you? Have you system failure? Met a few mad tribes. Thank you so much, system failure. I appreciate that. I really do. Um, let's see. After centuries away from Earth, oh, hold on a minute. This is true. You do all scare the shit out of me, Abraxas. That's funny. Hey, Freaky Geek, how are ya? After centuries away from Earth, they have recently returned. Their own leader is amongst the most recent visitors. They now will stay on Earth permanently. They will have an important role in the years to come. They spend time immersed in a precious gold-like liquid that presumably extends their lifespan. And see, that's what's weird. The Anunnaki, if you ever read up on the Anunnaki, that's what we were supposed to be slaves to the Anunnaki. In some stories, that's what we were supposed to do. That's why we have gold fever, because they wanted us to mine for gold. Yes, Freaky Geek, you do. You get every time I do a reading for you, I swear. So that's the whole thing of Anunnaki and apparently these guys, that, that's one of the reasons why we have gold fever when we do pan for gold, is because we're put on this planet to mine for gold for the Anunnaki, where they're slaves, basically. The Have who knew Chondras? I think it was for their blood system failure. I think it was like what they said, they spend their time immersed in precious gold-like liquid that extends their lifespan. I wonder if I don't know, but that's a good question. I think I think they need gold to survive for some reason. Who knows? That is true. No, you're Missy's slave, Abraxas. But in a loving way. So these other ones they come from the galaxy Sextans Dwarf SPH. They first visited Earth in 1934 AD in the area that we now know as Romania. They often abduct and kill humans. They also drain and drink the blood of humans, as well as blood of animals. Does that sound familiar to people in Romania? So they are responsible for the myth of vampires. In 934 AD, the human bodies that they use are never returned. Last sighting in Scotland in 1996. Oh, there you go, system failure. There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's just, some of these are weird and wild. So these are Mazurek. I've heard of them before. They come from the constellation Camelpardel. From the 30s to the early 1900s, our calendar, they are not allowed to leave their planet by other alien races. They are very violent and predatory race. They are known to be allies with the race Matra. They grow to 1.6 meters, 5 feet tall, last seen on Earth August of 2001. The Algrulics, they come from the constellation Cetus, near, why do they got to make star names so weird? Deneb Keltos Chanelli. Although they are often confused with reptilian races, they do not share anything with them except their appearance. Their height is around 2 meters, 6 foot tall, and they can live up to 350 years. This is one of the 21 races that we are known to have more than two genders, sexes. The race has 8 different genders, and all of them can reproduce with each other. The purpose of their visits to Earth is unknown, but they were last seen in Lima, Peru in December of 2004. Really, Freaky Geek? It's been so cold here that I haven't even gone outside at night. Well, except to smoke, but um, I haven't even looked at the stars. Oh, okay, system failure. All right, the gold here is corrupted, and they use it for something else, and we might be here looking for a new element for the one we found here. Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. Good. See, this is why I love doing these live chats. I love to learn about this stuff, even if I'm on the fence with everything. You know that. You guys know me, how I am, how I feel, um, but I love researching and I love learning about different things. So I'm glad you came in. That's so cool. That's so cool. Walking snowflakes. Yeah. But yeah, see, and that's the other thing. Right now, I was watching YouTube and I heard the Pleiadians are closer to Earth than ever. So maybe they're blocking the view with because they're the ones that have the big ships. See, I live in a village too. So, I mean, we should be able to, usually, it's just been so cold here, not like our normal winters. Um, Not that they're anything but warm, but uh, so I haven't even been outside, but usually you can see a lot of stars here. I love living here just for that simple fact. Okay, on to the next. Let's go to the next. Leviathan Kgb, aka Shiny Ones. Again, they come from the constellation Valpercula. They have met with at least 2 U.S. presidents, as well as the USSR and now Russian leaders, and some high-ranking officials. They supply limited amounts of their technology to humans in exchange for the freedom to conduct abductions. They do not involve other alien races in this process. They have a big role in Siberian and Tibetan night culture. They still have bases in those areas hidden under the north face of mountains. They have colonized over 40 planets outside of our solar system so far. Now, I've heard, and I don't know if it's true again, that the Pleiadians, or the good aliens, as everybody calls them, that I've listened to, what I've heard is they wanted to talk, and the Pleiadians are all about lifting everybody up to the higher spiritual, the higher vibrations and everything like that. That's why they claim that everybody's being awakened now. Okay. And what I heard was that they were trying to make a pact with our government years ago. I mean, this is obviously way long time ago, that they will give us free resources, as in like electricity and stuff like that, as long as we help each other and be civilized with each other, help out whenever we can. Now, if we had free resources and that, and not have to worry about money or paying bills or anything like that, we would mainly help each other. Oh, if we could, And the government didn't want anything to do with that, because where are they going to make their money from, right? So that's why they had made a pact with the bad aliens and said, go ahead, you can abduct some of our people for technology, information, and such like that. Like I said, that's only what I've heard. Oh, very cool, system failure. Freaky Geek, you know me, my English is never good. Okay, rock. One of the 58 races described here is the race that least visited Earth that we know of so far, only 5 times. They visited the area known as the Middle East, and that created the belief in the jinn, or genies, in Islamic mythology. According to some Muslim scholars, they inhabited an unseen world in a dimension beyond the existing dimensions of our universe. According to reports from all other alien races, they stopped visiting Earth because their immune system could not cope with Earth's fauna and flora. Last recorded visit 712 AD. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I think of jinn, I think of the Glimmerman. If you haven't seen my video, I just did a video last night about Glimmerman and the invisibility. Does this not look like somewhat of the Predator? Is that where, because the jinn are associated with the Glimmerman, seeing the Glimmerman. So, and with the Predator movie, back in then, what was that, 80s, 90s? Kind of looks like the Predator dude, and the Predator had that cloaking thing, and that's what they think this Glimmerman has a cloaking ability. It all comes together. This is weird for me. All my bits and pieces are coming together. That's scary. So let's go on to the next. The Invisibles. There's no image, obviously. They're invisible. This race is known to have been seen near high security areas. They are almost completely invisible to the naked eye. Both the US and Russian military have developed technology that allows them to track them down on radar. Just the ships, though. 3 things that are known about this race. They leave a sour smell when they are near. When they are near windows, you can see their reflection as a smudge-like figure. Have been caught on CCTV footage. When many dogs or only one start barking with no apparent reason, it is possible that they are nearby, or reptilians. They come from the constellation Mensa, and their purpose of presence is unknown. Is that shadow people? I've only seen the one. I haven't seen any of the other ones. But although I don't, shadow people, I've never heard about a sour smell when they are near. I don't know. It's crazy though. Just these things are these. Thank you for coming in, System Failure. It's much appreciated. I'm glad you liked the stream. Very nice to meet you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. You are awesome. And I'll probably be lurking in your streams when you're live. Just so you know. Thank you so much. You are awesome. You take care and have a great day. But right, Zach? I mean, is that shadow people? What? I don't know. All these ghosts that we think we're seeing, are they aliens? I mean, that first one, I'm telling you, was a black-eyed children. I'm dead nuts for that being a black-eyed child. That's all I'm saying. So the next one is Almaholic Strat 163. They were forced to leave Earth after losing a battle against the Reptoids in ancient India, date unknown, which they have been visiting for around 200 years. Hey, Irish Whiskey, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Thank you, System Failure. I appreciate it much. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. They have resumed their visits to Earth in 1948. This is a very advanced race. Their ships are often invisible to radar and the human eye, and they wear some sort of clothing that makes them invisible as well. See another one that could be the Glimmerman or shadow people. Supposedly they come from Jupiter or one of its moons. Last sighting in Portugal, May of 2005. So I mean, this is leading me, hurry back, Freaky Geek, to believe that a lot of the people, or a lot of the shadows, or a lot of the different ghosts that we see are actually aliens. Who knows? The Anani, no image. The members of this race are caught. Blah, blah, blah. Let's try this again. The members of this race are the cause of why humans coined the term Martians. They come from the constellation Gemini. They have had permanent bases on Mars for thousands of years, where they mined some gold-like material. First recorded Earth, 1235 BC in Japan. Last sighting in Madagascar, 2003. And I thought this was pretty interesting as well. In Dukkatuk, don't know these names, aka Tall White. This race has several bases on and in the moon where they mined unknown material. They use slaves to do most of their work. These slaves are extremely well taken care of, and the indignant see them as indispensable. Their operations on and off in the moon are very secretive. They are almost in permanent contact with high-ranking officials from the U.S., China, and Russia Federation governments. They have the ability to shapeshift into almost perfect human form. They are also known as Men in Black, as they use special dark suits to protect their skin when in human shape while conducting special operations on Earth. Pretty wild, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that our Men in Black? It could be. I mean, that explains the feeling people get around Men in Black, that it's that weird feeling. Kind of like black-eyed kids. I don't know about you, but the one that creeped me out the most about the Men in Black was the ones, I don't know if you ever seen the video with the two with the elevator, not the elevator, they're in the hotel and they come through the doors. That video, there's not a lot of videos that creep me out, like give me the actual willies. That one does. Yeah, it's crazy. Next one is Killmat RRARR. Welcome back, Freaky Geek. They come from the constellation Crux near Gura Crux. It's very hard. It's a very hard race to track down or spot. Both the U.S. and the Russian militaries have developed a special camera or radar system that allows to spot them when they are on Earth. But even then, they have only been sighted 8 times. The purpose of their presence is unknown. When they are sighted, it is usually in the area known as the Bermuda Triangle. Funny, Freaky Geek. 2017, no image. They have only contacted humans one time, the USSR in 1935. According to the reports, they spoke some kind of Slavic dialect. They left a written message with about 10 sentences. They come from the galaxy UDFJ 395462484. Estimated distance from Earth, our standard, is 13.2 billion light years. They travel by using what other aliens races call wormhole, which allows them to bend space. Note from myself and Petro, on the original ARB, our copy edition, 9 of the sentences left by the race were blacked out. The only ones that is not blacked out is 2017 to 2022. What the hell does that mean? You know, according to reports, they were tall, had blonde long hair, and smelled like flowers. Now, the whole wormhole thing and bending space, and I'm sure if people, you guys might know about this, like, when when they bend space and everything. How do I explain this? Ugh. It's kind of like, and I look at these spaceships very differently now. Like the ones that are just coming out from the Navy, or not just coming out, they have been out for a while from the Navy and everything, they look like they're falling. And they are falling. It's because they're zipping through space. Okay, so they wonder how fast they can go, like the Nimitz, UFO and stuff like that. It's because they're zipping in and out of time, so to speak, space, and they're falling. So they're not really driving, but they're falling. But they can zip. I don't know. It's very hard to explain it. And that probably none of that made sense. So anyway, when I watch videos now of supposedly UFOs, I watch to see how they are operate, how they're operating, if they're like steering the thing or if they're just falling. I think the true ones are falling. Now I've heard the reports that the ones that people are steering are our government or other governments around the world. Okay, next one. The Elm and Oak. They come from the... Yeah, Freaky Geek, yeah. Basically. And that's the thing. Supposedly all these people that worked on these movies and TV shows and that sat in with the Majestic 12 at some point in the time. If you know what the Majestic 12 was, they're the big wigs of like the Blue Book Project and stuff like that. Apparently, so it's kind of like they're making these shows and movies. That's why I always watch different trailers of different movies coming out, because they're trying to like uncondition us to get used to stuff like this. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But it's just like the new Top Gun. Have you seen the trailer for Maverick? He's wearing a space suit. So that makes you think it's going to be a space movie. At the end of the trailer, he's wearing an astronaut's helmet. So is he going in and doing the new aerospace, whatever the thing's called, ATIB? Because I feel like they want to condition us for this. Sorry, guys, just checking. Make sure everything's working. I don't think my restream's working again. But anyway, let's get on to the next one, right? And like I said, this is all speculation. This is just how I feel. This is what I take into things So, the Elm and Oak. They come from constellation Grus near the star Elnar. They are the ones with one of the most peaceful races. They co-create with the Alliance of the Five Races, the Council of Five, but are not a part of it. Exactly. We're going to go live with the Martians. Exactly, Patrick. That's exactly it. Preparing us for disclosure so we will not be surprised. That's exactly it. It's crazy. So the Council of Five are a group of 5 alien races that protect humans against the less powerful races. They're coined the sentence 5 universe, 2,500 species, 1 race. The council is supposed to meet on Earth during the last 10 days of August 2013. The reason being the fact that Earth has been receiving too many visits from new races in the past 500 years. Their last sighting on Earth near the Sea of Cortez in September of 2002. This guy looks, I know that, I want to say Independence Day, where they open up at the end there. The genetic This one maintains sporadic contacts with 3 Earth governments, but not the most powerful ones. Not USA, Russia, or China. Mind you, this was back in the day, so considered to have a violent nature by other races. They have been visiting Earth for 3,000 years. They come from the constellation Horolgulum and are known to have allies, the race Matra. I want to know what these Matra are. Last sighting near Houston, USA, February 1st of 2003. So if you're near the Houston area, man, you have some aliens. We all had some aliens. I know here in Alaska, they've had some aliens. J-Falk. They come from the constellation Indus. They are known by other races as peacemakers. They are very advanced technology-wise. Their first sighting on Earth dates back to 1500 BC. They met with JFK 3 weeks before he was killed. They have also around the same time met with other human world leaders. They have not been seen on Earth since JFK's death. In 1965, they gave a message to the human leader that ran countries with nuclear capability. Content unknown. See, I think that's what a lot of races are scared to death of, our nuclear weapons. I mean, I think that's why they've shut down nuclear bases before, so I've heard. That and they're around volcanoes. I know some live in volcanoes, apparently. These ones are the Dorsey. They grow to a maximum height of 0.5 meters, 1 foot 6 inches. They have visited Earth at least 250 times. They come from Cassiopeia, where they have 2 home planets. They eat other alien races as well as humans. That's lovely to know. Their race is at least 4 billion years old and have been in a constant state of war with another alien species for 2 billion years. Last sighting on Earth, November 2001 in the Italian Alps. That's some crazy stuff, man. The Miguel, they remind me of Dark Crystal, the Dark Crystal guys, the good guys, known as a very peaceful race. Yeah, I know, Freaky Geek, I have to look, but I think our volcanoes have calmed down now. But I know at one point we had like 130 volcanoes that were active. But I think they've calmed down. I haven't heard anything or seen anything about them. Known to be very peaceful race, the Miguel have 2 permanent bases somewhere in South Africa. They are 100% nocturnal, do not interact with humans, and are described by other alien races as shy. They harvest insects and rodents by the many thousands on a monthly basis. Reason unknown. At least 3 of them have been under Brazilian military custody for the past 12 years. Last sighting in Oaxaca, Mexico in 2003. They are visited by their own kind race every 20 years, and the next visit should be around 2016. Now, these guys right here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, with the 3 things going up, they look familiar, but I can't remember what they look familiar from. Anybody else out there no? Well, they're called Eeek. They come from the constellation Sextans. One of their ships crashed outside of Brazil in 1996. Yeah, they do look like ridge bones. Maybe they look like Triceratops. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. I don't know why they look familiar to me. 2 of its occupants are under USA custody after being paid billions of dollars to the Brazilian government. They have the fastest ships of any known alien races. Last sighting February 2002 near Brazil again. Thinking the Gila monster myself. Yeah, I don't know. They just look familiar to me, and I don't know why they would. Unless I seen them in a movie or something. I don't know. Very weird. Oh, there's some Matra. Yeah, they're the evil mofos. They look evil. Oh, the Matra. They have 2 home planets in constellation Megapole. They have the same average height as humans and are considered by many alien races as parasites. Visited Earth for the first time during the prehistoric period, date unknown. Abduction of humans is carried out openly. They have the goal of colonizing Earth that has not happened because of the protection from other alien races such as the ones of the Council of the Five. They are hermaphrodites. Their lifespan is 120 years. They have colonized at least 26 planets, not plants. They have colonized at least 26 planets. They have abducted at least 5,000 human males. They have visited Earth at least 200 times. Oh, that's lovely. And their last sighting is September 2006 near Nome, Alaska. That's lovely. So I wonder if that's what the what is it? The Fourth Kind, that movie. You ever see that movie about Nome, Alaska? I wonder if that's where it come from. That's creepy though. Okay. Good for I'm glad I'm not the only one freaky geek. I'm constantly trying to figure out where I've seen this wrong. You know, see they kind of look like the Greys, but they're the taller Greys. I think the Greys are more tinier. Although I have seen some big Greys. I can't remember exactly what I was watching, but I'll tell you what, the Grey that they have, I think it was one of the back with one of the Area 51. It was either that one or Dulcie, where they captured aliens supposedly, and that one alien that they have that's standing there looks so sad and so worried. I mean, I wanted to cry seeing the video. He just looks so scared, or she, I don't know, but so I mean, man, I don't know. The next, are they blue? Dries. Their height is around 2.5 meters, 8 feet tall. They have a very complex structure of their skull. They carry out human abductions with which they use for human reproduction. They have visited Earth at least 20 times. They have abducted at least 520 humans, males and females. They come from the third star constellation Cetus. They have 2 home planets and have colonized at least 40 planets with the help of slaves. 10 of those planets were taken with the use of force. They work together with 3 other races. They mostly eat animal protein-derived products. According to alien reports, they are not mentally/spiritually prepared to interact with the most other races. Their 2 home planets, chemically composite, is similar to Earth. They are supposed to reveal themselves to humans in an open manner in 2022. So next year, guys. Next year. That's freaking creepy. So definitely get your swords out and cut their heads off if you see them blue guys. That's, yeah. Lang. Now, I've heard of these. I didn't know their names, but I've seen that picture before. Apparently, it's just from higher up officials back in the day that have always keep whether I think this one, like I said, was from the USSR, just kept files of these things. Right? They are very specific. The Lang is a small species growing up to 70 centimeters, 2 foot. They come from the sixth star in the constellation Cornubarinaris. They have 3 home planets, maybe 4, and have colonized at least 10. They were one of the first races to visit Earth. They are the race that started the stories about fairies. See? All this stuff ties together with like lore, legend, or ghosts, or cryptids, or that's what's wild and compelling. 2 alien races claim that they have abducted over 10 million humans throughout history. Fairy rings. That just made me. What if fairy rings are a big, or well, to them it would be big, are crop circles? This is how my mind works, guys. I'll sit there and think about that all day. 2 alien races claim blah blah blah. They state that the number is much lower. So the Lang say that the number is much lower, but they're admitting that yeah, we've taken humans. And one race even made a statement to Russian president saying that the race Lang has never abducted any humans. The last sighting is New Zealand in 2006, a group of 20 members. SMAD, or SMAD, no image. They come from planet Savok, constellation Beta. I've heard of that constellation before. I don't know why, but their ships have a conical shape. They resemble humans in appearance. According to one alien race, they only have 6 ships left. They've colonized 20 planets. 18 of them were inhabited. They first visited Earth in 25,000 years ago and are very interested in our religious beliefs. They are a race in decline. They're weakening, according to other alien races. No, they're not invisible. Freaky Geek. It just means they don't have a picture of them. Whenever there's no image, they don't have a picture of them, but they're just trying to put a picture there of what they either could be or could look like, or from witnesses, I guess, if that makes sense. The Tengri. They come from planet Tengri, Galactic Sector 56, Star System F1342. They live underground and have a population of 10 million. They first visited Earth 10,000 years ago. They do not need an atmosphere. They do not need atmosphere or water to survive. They have one ship that it can accommodate 5 million of their kind. Now that's a big ass ship. Hey, memes of destruction, how you doing? Hell, how have you been? I know you're being silly. They live underground. Oh, I already read that part. They have had contact with human governments throughout history. Last known sighting near Buenos Aires, Argentina in 2003. Gracilla. Their height averages the same as that of humans, and they are covered in a soft, silky hair. They have 2 home planets in the Virgo star system. They have visited Earth at least 12 times. Their first visit happened during the era dynasties of Egypt's pharaohs around 3,000 years ago. They spent 10 uninterrupted years during that time. The Djour pyramid was built in their honor. I'll have to check that out. I want to know which pyramid that was. Or that is, I should say. They have been keeping a close look at humans' development for the past 200 years, knowing that some powerful humans can and are being misled by some alien races disguised as humans. Only 6 of them travel each time in their ships. Their last sighting was July 2002 and February 2004. Hurry back, Freaky Geek. So they were at the Pharaohs. They were with the Pharaohs. I wonder if they had a side picture, it would be elongated. Their skull would be elongated. It kind of looks like it would be, or if it's just rounded. I can't tell from that picture. Hmm. The Anunnaki. These are the ones that scare the hell out of me, I'm telling you. They come from planet Nibiru, aka Nibiru. Their planet is part of the same solar system as Earth, but with a much longer orbit. It comes closer to the sun every 4,000 years and not every 3,500 years as commonly accepted. They resemble humans but are higher, 2.5 meters, 8 foot tall, and more muscular. When they first visited Earth, they were already I can't talk anymore. Swear, 11 o'clock comes and my mouth is like done. Um, when they first visited Earth, there was already other races established here, some malevolent and with supernatural powers. The Anunnaki defeated them and became the most powerful race on Earth. They generally engineered the most intelligent non-alien beings on Earth, us. At the time, not much more than we were not much smarter than primates in order to have a race of slaves at their disposal. At the time, Samil and Lilith were the Anunnaki king and queen. They were not aware of the presence of the reptilians on Earth. They only incorporated that one alien race, the Zeta Reticule, not to be confused with the Solipsa aka the Greys, so don't confuse them. Eventually, they left Earth, unknown reasons, but before they left, they created a subspecies of the Zeta. The species eventually became rulers of Egypt, pharaohs, until the reptilians infiltrated them as temple priests and ended their reign. They gave birth to the legends about giants. They will return one day as promised by themselves. However, the date of the return is still a mystery. They do not know all that is happening on Earth, as well as other planets where they had influence or still have. The proximity of the planet Nibiru cause, does cause cosmic instability and weather related repercussions on all planets of our solar system, but does not cause the amount of destruction that is usually accepted and believed. How far they are, it is still a mystery. Those are the ones that scare me, I'm telling you. The Aphim. They come from the constellation Lyra. They call themselves Ephraim Spiantici because of war they had fought against a race called Spianticides. Yeah, something like that. The Spianticity race had 12 times more members and 35 times more ships and resources than the Ephraim, but the Ephraim won at the end. They kick ass little motherfuckers. Um, so So they added the specificity name to their own race names as a warning to other races. They are smaller than humans in stature, and their skin is covered with blue spots, darker for males and lighter for females. So are they like avatars? Is that where the movie Avatars came from? Their planet is called Crema El Petre. Technology there is extremely developed. They can travel from their planet to Earth in 20 Earth minutes. Holy crap! Can you imagine that? We'd all be dead. We'd all be flattened. The G forces would kill us all. They do not need oxygen. Well, there you go. They do have an atmosphere, but it is composed mainly of hydrogen mixed element. They have colonized 10 planets in a nonviolent way. When they are close to humans, they become invisible, but humans, when around them, will feel a certain amount of unexplained anxiety. See? Ghosts. There's just too much shit making sense here. Their ships are small and spherical in shape. One of the reasons they visit us is to study what we call human deviation in order to determine the development of the human race. So when they're around, are they the ones that cause me go, ugh? What's up with that? It's not cool. Am I still live? Nobody's talking. Sololipsy Rye. They're peaceful and harmless. See, that almost looks like the one that I said looked worried or scared. Kinda. I don't know. Peaceful and harmonious. These guys are peaceful and harmonious race. One main leader, and his name is Martin. Okay, thank you, Demon. Their civilization is 2 billion years old, and once they were at the same level of development as ourselves. They have no colonies. They are completely focused on development of other planets and races. They come from the constellation Cygnus. They do have one powerful weapon that keeps some neighboring violent races away. They do have one powerful weapon that keeps some neighboring violent races away, and others that may try to invade them. At one time, race Matra lost 5 ships because of it. Welcome back, Freaky Eeek. They said that the human race in the next few thousand years still has 645 options left to save ourselves, our planet, and our guaranteed for future of our race. But it will all depend on our ability to travel through space. They are Celopterae. We call them grays. So those are the normal grays. Okay. You're very welcome, my friend. Okay. Next up, we have, I know I'm running late, but it's okay. After my day yesterday, I slept very well. Puck City, no image. So there's no image, Freaky Geek. It's just no image. They're not invisible. Mine too. Makes me a little nuts sometimes. So Puck City, the race was very influential in some South and Central American cultures. At one time, they had over 2,000 members living amongst them, amongst humans in those regions, until one day when most of them left, leaving only behind 25 of their kind. Humans then killed them. Well, we're freaking mean. They have not returned to Earth since that incident. They were known to be very tall. Some reports from one alien race that some were tall as 4 meters high, 13 feet high. I wonder if that's our giants. The reason why the local humans killed the 25 is unknown. Okay, hurry back again. X5 Tycut. This race was credited by the race Matra in them damn Matra in order to be used as slaves. Oh, and that is still what they serve for. They're often sent by the Matra to security-sensitive regions, working as messengers and also conduct abductions. They live forever as they are not organic. However, the raw material that the Matra needs to build one is very rare. So there are not many. So there are not many of them. Estimation less than 300. They are able to use rational thinking as well as flying ships and other tasks. Last seen on Earth in July 1997 near Brisbane, Australia. Now, is that like their AI? Is that the Matrix AI? That's pretty freaking nuts. Tanzania. I've heard of that name before too. Excuse me, I need a sip of my coffee. They come from the constellation Perseus, near the star Gorginia Secundua. So I know I'm plastering these freaking names. It's just, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I have no clue about my star system. I mean, except that I shouldn't say my star system, our star system. I'm lucky I know the 9 planets. 8, yeah, I know. Don't don't even go there. But anyway, um, they have caused thousands, maybe millions of deaths on Earth and other planets, as they are one of their interests or area of study per se is how other races react to tragedies and catalysts. Oh, that's lovely. Let's study that. Technology wise, they are extremely advanced. One alien race reported that the Tanzania caused both the crashing of the Hindenburg as well as the sinking of the Titanic. They can live up to 500 years and are around 1.7 meters tall, which is 5 feet. They have they are avoided by other alien races, and of course, the last sighting January 1999 in New York State. I lived in New York then. That's lovely. I don't know what that picture is though. Like I can't tell what this picture is. I can't make out eyes. I can't make out. I don't know. You're funny, freaky geek. Welcome back, huh? The Eeek. They come from the constellation Ophiuchus near Yed Prior. They are considered by other races as peaceful. The purpose of their visits is unknown. They have never stayed long on Earth and do not interact with humans or other aliens here. They mostly use Earth as a stop. It's a fuel stop, to quickly gather some things they may need before they leave to their real destination. They are mostly nocturnal. Their ships emit a bright orange light and are most of them, if not all, octagon in shape. Simple words, I'm telling you. One picture looks like a dolphin. Yeah. Oh, see, I can't even see a dolphin in that. My eyes are not. This one I see. Yeah, it has no nose. I get that one. But the other one, I don't even see a dolphin. Oh, wait a minute. Is that ears? I don't know. Right? See, it had me curious when it said about the bright orange light, though. It had me, I'm like, because people have seen bright orange lights just bobbing everywhere. But I don't know if they're octagonal. I think they're mostly round, spherical, some type. Oh, they look scary. The Vinti Varde, isn't it? I don't know. They come from the constellation Pavo. They are a very respected and peaceful race, presumably with mystical powers. I don't know what 3 times combo is. I don't know. I don't even remember hooking up Streamlabs. So I don't know what that means. They're a very respected and peaceful race, presumably with mystical powers. They have been coming to Earth for at least 1,000 since 1000 AD. They do not carry out abductions and do not interact with humans. They can live up to 2,000 years. Their height is similar to that of a normal human. They are vegetarians. It's where all the vegetarians have come from. Anyway, last sighting near Odessa, Ukraine in July of 1995. Strom. They come from the constellation Ursa Minor, one of my favorite constellations. Strom are Stroms are invertebrates and colintrates. Okay. Vegetarian is their average height is 2 meters, 6.5 feet tall. Vegetarian is of great importance to their culture and the main reason for their visits to Earth. They have been Earth at least 200 times. They act with extreme caution and are rarely seen by humans. Their first visit to Earth was at the end of the last big ice age. They have 20 colonies in the Via Lecta galaxy. Their ships have the shape of an octagon, last seen October 1996 in Oregon, USA. Yeah, you're right. They do, Freaky Geek. They do. Yeah. Calonia. They come from the constellation Aquila, star Tarazed. They have colonized 3 planets and have a lifespan of 150 years. They're often sighted in northern Africa and Sahara region. First visited Earth around 300 BC. They do not conduct abductions, and their main interest about Earth is our minerals. Last seen in 2003 near a volcano in Iceland. The Mythli, once related to the reptile, they're scary, creepy looking. They're like, you know what they remind me of is the Mummy with Brandon Fraser when he's not fully formed, and you can see his like jaw. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. See, this is why I like having these lives. I like, you know. So, once related to the reptoid species, the Melithi are not, however, reptilians. They come from the constellation Serpens star Elia. First visited Earth only in June 13th, 1965. They do not represent any threat to humans, often seen around Antarctica. The reason is for their visits is unknown, and their last sighting was Antarctica, May 1st, 1997. Right? Nothing wrong with that. Reptilians. These are the guys that scare me too. They do scare me, I'm not going to lie. The most known and feared of the reptoid species, there are at least 3 species of reptoids. They have been permanently on Earth for over 15,000 years, confirmed. It's confirmed, guys. But the belief is that they may have been here permanently or on and off basis for millions of years. They come from the constellation Draco. They have a presence in thousands of planets and at least colonized 500 by means of infiltration within the leadership of each planet. Some, not all of their members, have power to shapeshift as well as telepathic abilities. On Earth, they did not need to infiltrate human leadership all the time, as they often lived side by side with humans, most of them unaware, and lived our evolution all aspects of it. They are considered one of the most technology advanced species, but they prefer to work in the shadows, using that as an advantage for their progress or plans/agenda. They can travel interdimensionally, most races can't, and some of their high-ranking members also have the power to become invisible. To have that power, reptilian must first be accepted as what they call the Draco, the elite group of reptilians. The reptilians from the Draco are infiltrated or even were co-founders of the Illuminati. See? I'm telling you. They have 3 main bases on Earth near the Bermuda Triangle, somewhere off the coast of Denmark and off the coast of New Zealand. Some say that they will never leave, at least on their own. That's what people, I mean, well, not even that. Their home planet's called Draco. That's where dragons, Draco is like dragons. But dinosaurs, alligators, all those, Komodo dragons, all that stuff. All right, guys, we got time for a few more, and then I got to get ready for work. The Alcobata, presumably they have over 5,000 ships and have colonized over 100 planets of their own. Considered by other aliens as one of the parasite races. Abduction of humans are frequent and ongoing. The purpose of human abductions, unknown. They do not like to interact with other alien races. They come from the constellation Perseus and are extremely aggressive. Perseus used to be one of my favorite constellations. Not so much anymore. Suspected to have been involved in several airplane crashes, such as Flight 007 over the USSR in 83. The USSR leadership took the blame for that crash. Last seen 2001 in Canada. Uh-oh. They were seen in Canada. No, there's a planet. I don't think there was a constellation named Draco. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. So this guy is Nigamuk, a.k.a. Gunapapo. First known visit to Earth happened in only 1989. They abducted humans and exercised control over the minds of their captives, which they used for their own benefits after the captives released, reason unknown. They look like cockroaches. This race was the inspiration for the alien race movie Independence Day. They do look like the Independence Day alien, don't they? Note of Petro and me, the ARB states the same thing about another race. They are one of the oldest races. They are one of the races that the most human governments fear when considering the future of humans. Okay, one more and then I gotta go. Zeta Reticuli, aka Champahala, often confused because of their appearance with the race Matra or Solipsis Ray, the Greys. They came from the constellation Nets, or they come from the constellation Nets. They are allies of the Anunnaki, oh God, incorporated with them in different planets. They are the representation. Oh, no, sorry. They are the representatives of the Anunnaki on Earth and send them information about humans and this planet at least 25 times per year. The Anunnaki created a subspecies of Zeta with the purpose of making them look more human-like, but leaving enough physical difference for humans to distinguish them. They became some of the pharaohs of Egypt. They are most well known by the Akhenaten. Oh, never mind. I know that word. The most well known is Akhenaten, which makes sense because Akhenaten, they said, was not a normal pharaoh who was removed from power by reptilians. They infiltrated themselves as the court as temple priests. The first report of Zetas on Earth go back to 4000 AD, but that number is most likely much higher. They were the first hybrids to be engineered by the Anunnaki. The Zeta subspecies still exist on Earth and still at least 30% present, the same physical difference created in them. The sexual organs of the subspecies are in every aspect the same as that of humans. Dun dun dun! So, folks, there you have it. If you guys are interested, I will definitely do more of this. We'll conclude it next week for What If Wednesdays if you would like. It's up to you guys. Or I can find something else to chat about. You know me. That's what I do at night. Why do I look so red? Oh my God. Do I look red to you guys? I feel like I'm like all that's not my face. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my camera's dying. I don't know. Okay, we can do that. So next week we will conclude. We will do number 2. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Next Wednesday. Part 2. Yeah, that's right. I'm on fire. Two of alien races. See, my pronunciation's so bad I can't even spell. Races. we left off at Zeta. Because there's still looks like a little bit to go. Reticuli. Yeah, Freaky Geek. Yeah, so yeah, we'll definitely. So next, take care, Patrick. Take care. I hope you have a wonderful day. Watch out for those ones that impaled Canada. But yeah, so this next Wednesday, same place, same time, we will do a number 2 of Alien Races, part 2 of Alien Races KGB book. If you weren't here for the beginning, whoever's watching this, if you weren't here for the beginning, go back and it explains. I read a little bit from the front of the book to let you know where this book came from and how it was found. And yeah, much love to you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Memes. Who else came in? Freaky Geek, of course. Zach, Patrick, Shadow Demon, thank you so much for being here. Memes of Destruction, of course, thank you so much for being here. System Failure, thank you so much for popping in. Who else? Irish Whiskey, thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate you guys all so much. Abraxas, thanks for coming in. Who else we got here? Abandoned Boys, of course, thank you so much. You guys are just amazing. Patrick, Zach, you guys are amazing as well. You know that. You know that. I hope you all have a great Wednesday, and I will talk to you soon. I am off to work. Thank you so much. Again, you guys mean the world to me. You know that. I hope at least I hope you know that. You guys do mean the word. Oh, awesome. Okay, Freaky Geek. I will definitely put that in my next video. As always, yeah. So if you guys see my videos and you leave me a comment, it'll always be in the next video I do. So leave those comments. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I hope this was interesting to you guys. And it definitely was interesting to me. One of the things Aspect said, that's why I brought it up on What If Wednesdays. So with that being said, take care, have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys come back and see me again. Love you.